Greetings, friends! Today we have been tagged by Aaron of Madam Books in his Time Capsule Tag, and so, alas, 2 answers for the price of 1.
So a book that you want people, 200 years from now to find entertaining. And I chose Divergent by Veronica Roth. Many of you know I did a review on this book. I love this book so much. It's so entertaining, so exciting, fast-paced. It's a dystopia. There's a really cool idea with factions, and it's thick, but it flies by in no time because you just get sucked into it. And, by the end, you're raring ready to read the next one.
Have you?
No, it's still sitting over there. Well, you haven't even read Divergent yet, so don't be
I really
lecturing
can't
me.
say anything.
Yeah, by the way, I have this back now if you want it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, there you go.
Cool. I chose Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, which, fun fact, originally started out as a National Novel Writing Month novel. Check out NaNoWriMo. This is just a really kind of dark, twisting, mystery-ish story about a guy who runs away from college exams and winds up joining the circus. And it's very intriguing. Intriguing is the word I would use to describe this the most. He meets this elephant and tries to take care of it and falls in love, and it's literally got all kinds of crazy things that go on in it, and it's dark.
There's some shocking moments.
Yeah, it's dark and twisted and shocking, and it's just super entertaining. It's a wild ride, and I think that people of the future should like it quite a lot.
Yes, and there's a movie.
There is a movie. I haven't seen the movie yet.
I haven't seen it either, but the book is fantastic.
We were unanimous.
The Fault in Our Stars by John Green.
It really needs no explanation, right?
Yep, I cried.
I cried, obviously.
And I don't cry ever, so over books. I don't cry over books. So this is the grand winner.
Okay, stop touching it.
Even though when I think of enlighten, I immediately jump to a religious context.
Yes.
I'm not taking this in a religious way at all. I chose The Lost City of Z by David Graham. This is a narrative nonfiction, and it follows the story of Percy Fawcett, I believe his name is. He was an explorer from England in the early 1900s, and he wanted to find the Lost City of Z, which is supposedly somewhere in the Amazon. And he went multiple times to, into the Amazon, adventuring, exploring, and eventually just disappeared. And so this guy, David Graham, decides to go on an adventure to also find this city and see if he can find out anything of what happened to this guy. It's a really interesting book, and I had no idea, about what the Lost City of Z was, or really anything about that time period of exploration, so it is definitely enlightening in that sense.
You'll have to ignore the author's very large face on the cover of this book, but I have chosen John Irving's A Prayer for Owen, Meany. I'm assuming that that's John Irving. I really don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
But,
he's older. He's even older now. He's like 70 now.
He's really old now. This book is about a young boy who has a best friend as a child, and his best friend's name is Owen Meany, and I believe the first line opens with, "I was doomed to remember a boy with a terrible voice," or something like that.
Yeah.
And Owen Meany, whose voice is written in all caps through the entire novel, because the author does that to portray just how awful it sounds when he speaks.
When was this book written? 89, okay.
It's 89.
89. So he made talking in all caps annoying before talking in all caps was annoying.
Props, John Irving.
Yeah.
But it's a book that questions a lot of what do you believe, is there a God sort of enlightenment. It's a lot of really deep questions if you think about it in the right way, but other than that, it's also very pleasant and entertaining and hysterical in places. Oh God, he thinks he's the second coming. Like, what?
Yeah, if there's anything that has religious undertones and it's enlightening, you went that route.
I did go that route.
So, good choices for the beauty of reading.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yes. So, my choice to teach the beauty of reading
The magic of reading, if you will, I believe is how Aaron put it.
Oh, okay. I have the beauty of reading.
Beauty of reading.
I copied it off the thing. But anyway, the beauty, the magic.
Importance of reading.
Yes, anything along those lines. I chose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling because this launched an entire frenzy,
and still this phenomenon.
Yes, and this still exists now. And I think if someone 200 years from now has not read this book, they are missing out on an essential piece of life, because you and I both understand we grew up with this series. Like this is a huge part of our life. This is a huge part of our life, and a lot of the experiences that we had with people around us online and in person.
Is it fair to say that we probably wouldn't be as good friends without this book?
Probably, because we did, read them together sophomore year out loud. I feel like we've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
But, just in case people are curious, yes, we read all 7 Harry Potter books out loud with accents sophomore year of high school. That really, made
started on day 1, ended at
the last day of school, because we're that cool.
Yeah, that was a thing.
That's right. So, yes, my choice would be the first one, so people can continue reading the rest of the series. Leslie!
I picked the 6th one.
And we did not confer beforehand about what books we were going to choose.
When you think about it, J.K. Rowling was just, one person with an idea, and it blossomed into an entire phenomenon. And if that's not magical, what else in the world of literature is? What is it about these books that made that happen? I don't know, but the generations ahead should read them.
200, 500, I don't know. How long do we want to stick our time capsule in the ground for?
A while.
A while. That's a good answer. Good, solid answer. While, because that would have been a classic answer. Which actually won't be modern when the people from the time capsule open it, because it will be 200, 300 years in the past.
Yeah.
But our modern culture right now. I chose High School Confidential by Jeremy Iverson. Yes, Iverson. This is a nonfiction story, again, about a 25-year-old Stanford graduate who looks like a high school student still, because I looked at his picture in the back. And he goes undercover in a high school in California to get what the experience of being in high school is like right now. This book was published in 2006, so it is fairly recent. It's not like a book from the 90s, because things have changed since the 90s.
Oh, yes.
But he talks about parties and drugs and teachers who don't teach, and just all the issues from an insider point of view, but still somebody who's looking out and has already gone through the system and is, picking up the good and the bad. And it's a really interesting book, very entertaining, and it does explain our modern culture quite well, at least modern culture from a high school perspective, which is a pretty big deal. It is education and teaching, so it is important.
And education reform is happening in this country at the beginning right now, so. Angels and Ages by Adam Gopnik, who is one of the most brilliant nonfiction writers, or even fiction writers. I haven't read too much of his work, but I have read some of his nonfiction. I read this for uni this year. You've got me calling it uni. And it is about Lincoln and Darwin, and how the two men born on the same day, an ocean apart, went out and did completely different things with their lives.
That's why they pair them together, because they were born on the same day. I was like, okay, Lincoln and Darwin. No, they're both cool people.
I know, I said that too, and then I took the class, and
you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Anyway, continue.
Exactly. But they did a lot of things in a lot of ways that have dramatically shaped the way that we live our lives today. And this is written from the perspective of someone in 2009, and he does it with such brilliant prose and analogies and little twisted metaphors, and you have to read this with a dictionary or an encyclopedia next to you to get everything he's talking about from the past and how it relates to the present. But it definitely marks our modern time as how it was influenced by the past. And I think that if they're going to read this in the future to learn about the past, then the past should show how it influences the future by talking about now.
How meta. If we have to tag people for a tag, we're going to tag 2 people. We're going to tag Heather's Book Review and Angelica M 2009. It is an interesting tag, and obviously we tag anybody else who wants to do it.
We're curious about your answers. I believe it brings us to a close.
So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. All the links are below, as usual, in the doobly-doo. And we'll see your pretty faces later. Bye.
Bye.